Hello, my dear and lovely Virgos. This is your horoscope for August 2024. And August will be a bit of a bumpy month, and it seems like you will be quite busy at work. A lot of busy. You are in general very workaholic sign, busy at work. But this August will keep you even more busy, and all that matters is actually our positivity, our attitude, and on how high is our vibration is. So that's how our life is unfolding. So keep in mind to stay positive and light exactly in August, my dear Virgos. And also your ruler Mercury will go retrograde in August too, meaning not to start anything important, not to open business, and not to sign important papers and deals, because Mercury is your ruler and this planet rules commerce and trade. That means that when Mercury retrogrades, meaning moving backwards, it's better to avoid to sign important papers, to start something new, and to do plastic surgeries or to buy expensive things, especially related to technology like phones or computers or kitchen appliances or anything technological, technical appliances. To buy these things is no-go in August because Mercury will retrograde for the whole month, my dear Virgos. Now, I have a whole separate video on Mercury retrograde on my channel. There you will get a lot of tips on what to do and on what is not advisable to do during Mercury retrograde. So I advise you to check that up the video and make sure that you listen through all the tips there. Now, let's start with your August horoscope, my dear Virgos. Now, 4th of August, we have new moon right from the beginning in your house of subconscious mind and in your house of past, which is 12th house. Now, 12th house is the last house in our horoscope, meaning 12th house is where we, hide. It's a very private place in the horoscope. In your natal chart, it's a place where we hide everything. It's a place where we want to stay private, or we want to go very far somewhere where nobody finds us, or also 12 house is about our subconscious mind, let's say, and also it's about our spirituality. 12 house is everything hidden exactly there, and even our enemies that we don't know face to face are also there. A new moon is happening exactly in that house, but this new moon is an amazing one. It's a very positive one, and new moons are all about new beginnings, my dear Virgos. Something is new unfolding, something is new happening in your life, coming into your life. Now, it's happening at 12 degrees, meaning those of you who are born right in the beginning of September, 1st of September, plus or minus 5 days around this date, will be affected the most by this new moon. So lucky you, my dear Virgos. That new moon will be supported by Jupiter and Mars, both of them situated in your house of career, in your house of social status. That is the highest house in our chart. If you look at the clock, it always shows 12. Now that's the point where is your house of career and social status. In astrology, it's called 10th house. Now, Jupiter and Mars is exactly there. And plus, Jupiter is the lucky planet of happiness and abundance. And, it's a planet of expansion. It's a planet of luck. And it's perfect now that it is in your 10th house for the whole year. One of the luckiest signs, my dear Virgos, is that because, you have Jupiter in your 10th house, meaning upcoming year will change your career for the brighter one, for the, better one. And possibly the one that you wished for so long. All that hard work that you've been putting will pay off exactly during next 12 months until June 2025. And you also yourself don't, lose the chance to seize the opportunity to apply to positions, to go, to knock the doors of VIPs and all your managers, to ask for a rise or to ask for a new position, even to promotion, because you will have Jupiter by your side as your guardian angel. And that Jupiter will have the power to actually, grant all your wishes in terms of your career and social status. Now, and Jupiter will be supporting that new moon together with Mars. And Mars is the planet of actions. It's our desire planet. Both of them, it feels like it's fueling your desire to start something new or to find a better job, better position, to earn better money, and to have even more and better influence. Seems like your desire is exactly there right now. And Jupiter is even more expanding that desire. These two planets together are making it even bigger. And plus Mars is impatient planet. It's like, let's get things done planet. So it seems like you have a huge desire to have a new career, new workplace, or even better, some sort of calling for your life, let's say. Now, about the new moon. So it is happening in your 12th house, and 12th house is the house, is the, furthest house in our natal chart, in our horoscope, meaning that whatever desire you have in terms of career, in terms of work, it seems like that desire will be granted, but then that work or career, like a job offer, might pop up, and that job offer will be somewhere far, somewhere not in your country. Or if the company is in your country, then it might be that the headquarters might be like somewhere located somewhere far, somewhere foreign. That's what I'm. And Jupiter, is the natural ruler of your fourth house in the chart. And fourth house, deals with all those immigration, citizenship things. And it might actually require for you to relocate to for that job. Could be somewhere near nature or somewhere on an island. Countries might be, or somewhere near sea, like an ocean. So somewhere very far, my dear Virgos. And if that's happening in your life, congratulations, because you deserve it. And for some of you, if you say it's not about my career, I'm very happy with my workplace and my, position and work and everything, the job, then it might be totally about your, let's say, transformation of soul and spirituality side, subconscious mind, because 12th house is that deep. It's a very broad one in astrology, and also it includes those things, the ones that we don't, verbalize. Our feelings, our thoughts is exactly in the 12th house, where we might also, resort to psychotherapy or any sort of therapies, and like even ourselves getting interested in astrology or some things like subjects transformational, let's say, of our soul and mind and all those things. And it might be that this new moon will have this, will give you this opportunity to open up a whole new world for you, especially for you, my dear Virgos, because your mind is such an analytical one, with Mercury being your ruler. This new moon has the power to open up your subconscious mind a little bit to you. As a new world, let's say, to dig deeper. And plus, Mars is the natural ruler of your 8th house. And 8th house also kind of the same, dealing with those things like psychology, astrology, all those mystical things as well. And, 8th house is about our mental state too. Now, for some of you, it might be about that. There might be new things happening. You might sign up for some therapies, or you might actually, if it's not about like mental therapies, then it might be actually physical one, because in 12th house and 8th house, both of them, they rule our physical, well-being. And it might be that you will go for checkups, like annual checkups at a hospital, or some sort of retreats, maybe to refresh or boost your immune system. Some things like related to health might also come during this new moon, my dear Virgos. In other cases, it might be simply as that, travel, because 12th house is the, it's the like places that are far from us, or places that are near water, like it doesn't matter, ocean or lake or river. It might be that you will go for a vacation in the beginning of August, and it seems like you might be going together with your family, together, like let's say with your greater family, your father, mother, and even your sisters, like siblings and aunts, or even your grandparents too. Like all of you guys might be going to family vacation around 4th of August. And always, my dear viewers, allow new moons and any new moons and full moons like 10 days of span to bring the message to you. So from 1st of August until 10th of August, this new moon will bring the message exactly to you, my dear Virgos. And in some occasion, when I was speaking about like physical health, also it might be totally not about you. It might be about your siblings or your relatives or neighbors, at last end, because Mars rules those relatives of yours. That's why it might be that they might need some sort of surgeries, or they might need some sort of retreats, and you might be assisting them in that matter. And in general, 12th house is the place where we want to concentrate, where we want to be alone and concentrating on something. This new moon might give you this kind of a, work or sort of a situation where you will be concentrating on something in private around those days. it is a possibility too. Now let's talk about next day, 5th August, because 5th August we have Venus, planet of love and beauty, moving into your sign. That's an amazing place to host Venus, because we all love Venus in our sign. Because when Venus is in our sign, we feel the love and we feel like we are magnets, you know. We are so lovable and likable. And, you know, Venus in our first house, in our sign, makes us very attractive, makes us magnetic, and makes us irresistible. It's the perfect place to have Venus, and it's right for your birthday, my dear Virgos. Enjoy it. All the attention will be on you with Venus in your first house. And also Venus in the first house gives gifts. Of course, it's your birthday month. You might receive quite a lot of gifts and attention and congratulations and in general nice words. Venus in the first house is an amazing thing, and I love it. And and also there is one special a superpower with Venus in the first house. You have the power to convince anyone into anything. As a natural communicators, my dear Virgos, you are born communicators, but Venus in your first house, even more, that ability will come forth, and you will feel the ease that all the people will be doing all the things that you've been wishing them to do. Now, use that time from the 5th of August. Exactly on the same day, your ruler, unfortunately, goes retrograde, meaning moving backwards or slowing down. And Mercury will go retrograde around 3 weeks, for 3 weeks until 28th of August in your sign, because Mercury is in your sign, in your first house, and it's full force, but now it will be losing its power because it will be going backwards. And Mercury being your ruler, as I said, it's the planet of communication, planet of signing contracts. We need it sharp to start new things, new projects, new business, new negotiations, everything. For those things we need Mercury sharp. But at this time, whole August, we will have all sorts of mix-ups, all sorts of delays, canceling or postponing meetings, negotiations, and all deals and all the stuff. And even if you happen to sign some things important during this period, then it might be, just so you remember, that it might come afterwards with some mistakes or something's missing or something's off, about that contract, about those papers, or the purchases that you're going to make during Mercury retrograde, especially those ones that are expensive, and especially those ones that are related to technology, like phones, laptops, computers, whatever is there, like technical. Now, better to postpone those things until September if you can, and even signing important papers too. Marrying during Mercury retrograde is okay because Mercury is not a ruler of love. That's why, let's say, maximum what can go wrong is that your marriage certificate go missing, or something might be off about that, or some dates would be mixing. So you would have to just reissue it, or fix it later. But anyhow, go listen on my channel. There is a whole video, only one video I made a couple of months ago about Mercury retrograde, and I gave a lot of hints there on what to do and what to do, even like about surgeries. It's very important actually to have that knowledge. And plus, Mercury is your ruler, my dear Virgos, and it will retrograde in your first house. When Mercury is retrograding in the first house, it's really not advisable to do plastic surgeries, not advisable to make new haircuts. I know that it's your birthday month. I know that you want to be beautiful, and Venus will work it through to make you beautiful and attractive for whole August and September. No worries on that. But with Mercury retrograde, it's better to postpone all new haircuts, new styles, new, something related to your appearance, and especially plastic surgeries. Because with Mercury retrograde, when we do those things, we tend to regret afterwards, or we tend to be disappointed with the result, or just at the end of the day, we might go back to the previous style, let's say, or you have to redo it, at a later date, if that's a plastic surgery. Now, because it's going backwards, it will cross from your first house into your 12th house. Mercury, when will retrograde, it will move into your 12th house after 15th of August. So for the next half of August, with Mercury in your 12th house, it seems like you might be quite a lot of observing. I mean, as a Virgo, you are observant sign. You are great observers, and even you would make up a very amazing detective because you're the one who are observing all the details in the room. Now, with Mercury in your 12th house retrograding for the next half of August, it will make you even more, let's say, paying attention to details, and even especially into your soul, what is going on in your mind and in your, let's say, transformational journey. Or also, Mercury in the 12th house, it's about health. For some of you, it might be that some sort of past kind of sickness or illness might come back, might knock your door again, so that you pay attention and go for a checkup. Or you might catch a flu also, there is a possibility, but there is nothing sort of serious, so no worries on that. And Mercury in the 12th house might give you some, digging information about your past or about your family history, or something like literally digging the earth too, especially for those of you who are working with, let's say, resources, mining things, because 12th house is all about underground resources like minerals, crystals, stones, like mines, all those things. It might actually give you this sort of kind of activities too. No idea for what purpose, but just so for some of you it might be true. Now, and also because 12th house is the rest house, where we rest. It's a private house. We crave for rest, and Mercury there might give you this sort of desire to go somewhere for a retreat, to go for somewhere for vacation, somewhere near water, jump into water, especially considering that August is the last summer month and we need to jump into sea while we have sunny weather. Now, this is the job of Mercury, in the 12th house, especially when it's retrograding. But in a whole month like August, it's better to postpone all important things. So all in all, August, at the end of the day, August is the last month of the summer. So better to leave the job. I know that it's very hard for you, but still try to pay to work less attention and try to pay into your subconscious mind and rest house, let's say, more attention, and just chill in August, especially second half of August, because now we are getting to that point, to this full moon, which will be a bit of a challenge. Now, 19th of August, we have full moon in your house of work. Exactly this house where you are super, super responsible now and sharp. Now, my dear Virgos, those of you who are born by the end of this Virgo season, 20th of September, plus or minus 5 days, so the last days of Virgo season, you will be affected the most by this full moon. And this full moon, not the easy one. It's a bit of a bumpy one, and it's happening in your house of work and health. Now, for some of you, it might be about your daily activities like work and job, workplace, or your colleagues or your manager, might pose some stress. And for some of you, it might be about health, your, well-being. Now, so watch out around like last 2 weeks of August. Now, that full moons are, usually about some sort of culmination. They happen to bring conclusion to some situation which was already there. It's nothing new about this full moon. Full moon's job is to bring a final straw, let's say final word to a situation that is there in your life. Or another function of full moon is to put your attention into someone or something in your life that you've not been noticing or you've been ignoring, let's say, on purpose or not even on purpose. So it doesn't matter. Full moon just puts quite a lot of attention to something that needs your immediate action. Now, full moon will be opposed by surprise planet of surprises, to say correct, Uranus. Now, Uranus will be transiting in your 9th house, and Uranus is transiting, your 9th house since 2018, and it's transforming your relationship with foreign lands, your relationship with your higher mind, because 9th house is all about that. It's about our mind and as how wide is it, let's say, and the studies. If you are in the studies, like if you're a student, is also about that, because when we study, our mind gets broadening, and when we travel, same thing happens. That's why travel is also here. When we immigrate, same thing happens too. Our mind gets activated and it gets, let's say, full spectrum of knowledge, and that's why it's also here. And this planet of surprises, Uranus, will be exactly in your 9th house, will make, let's say, this agreement with that full moon. And Uranus actually naturally rules your work house of work and health that full moon is happening in. You see, so the full moon's ruler is exactly making harsh angle to that full moon. Now, it's all about your day-to-day activities, daily life, something's going on to happen around your work. Just so just advise, it's very hard to choose full moon, but still, if you are in a positive side, on a higher vibration, nothing is impossible. Sometimes if you are even like a very let's say positive person, you don't even notice what's going on around you, those negative things, and even those challenges that full moon might pose might, you might treat them as not even a challenge or something very small. And that's how you should be like treating exactly in August all the things that will be happening around you. That's my advice, my dear Virgos. Now, let's get into it. Sixth house is all about work and job. If you've already, like, let's say, had some problems, some issues at work, then this full moon comes in and puts an end to that, and pretty much shocking end. And it might be about a foreign client if you're a business owner, and that foreign client might act, in a very surprising and shocking way that you won't welcome and you won't like it. Or if it's about project, again, there is a sort of feature of foreigners, sort of a feature of something not from your motherland, because planet of surprises is situated in your house of travel and foreigners, ninth house, so it might be related to that. And if you're doing business with some company or someone who are located somewhere else than your country, then this full moon might bring some challenges in that relationship, that work relationship. And for some of you, it might be totally like quitting job. You might finally decide to quit your job or to drop a project. If it's not a job, then it might be about project, or but those things might happen very sudden. I know you don't like anything surprising, my dear Virgos, but this full moon has this quality. With this planet Uranus, you never know what might go wrong or what this planet might bring into your life. But just so you know, stay on a positive side and everything will be fine. Treat everything more on a philosophical way and on a brighter side. Stay calm. I know that you can do that because you are great controllers of your emotions, my dear Virgos. That helps, that feature of yours helps you a lot in life. And this time, you will need that character of yours, my dear Virgos. And I'm specifically talking to those of you who are born by the end of the Virgo season, as I said, because universe will be speaking directly to you guys. Now, sixth house is not only about work, it might be about your health, status. If you had some issues around your health and well-being, this full moon might come in and, let you know about that. If you've been ignoring some health concerns, then this full moon comes in and will make you go for checkup, make you call that doctor, that specialist for the checkup. But if but as a Virgo, you are very meticulous, about your health. So it might be the case that most likely that you are not ignoring any signs and you've been already going through checkups. And if that's the case, then this full moon might bring some sort of results and some sort of surprising results, especially if those results are coming from a foreign doctor or foreign clinic or some foreign specialists. And results might not be so happy one and might be disappointing, but stay on the positive side still, my dear Virgos, because the universe has your back. Now, also, sixth house is about our daily life, our routine, our schedule, all these things, and it seems like for some of you, it might be about that. You are changing in a very sudden way your daily life, daily schedule. If you've been all the time home, let's say sitting on maternity leave or paternity leave, sitting with the kid, then this full moon might bring shocking change, actually, very sudden one. You won't be planning anything, but universe already planned for you, my dear Virgos. Seems like you might suddenly start working or vice versa. If you've been working, but this full moon comes in and because of the health issues, you might be now located at home whole day. You will have to do so. Changing your routine thing, happening here. It's also some sort of, and sixth house is in general taking responsibilities house, obligations house, and also it's a house of solving problems. Now, you are a very great solver of problems, my dear Virgos. That character you will need around, end of August, second half of August. Now, on the same day, there are another bunch of planets who will be arguing, and in general, second half of August will be a bit of a bumpy period. Now, those group of planets that will be arguing, totally not related to full moon, but it is happening at the full moon on the same day, is our Saturn, is the planet of responsibilities and hard work. That is, transiting your house of love, house of committed partnerships in business and in love, will oppose Venus. Now, Venus is the planet of love and beauty, which is transiting your house like your first house, your sign. And also Saturn will make a harsh angle to another two planets, Jupiter and Mars. Now all of these planets will be arguing with each other. Now Jupiter and Mars will be situated in your house of career, in your house of social status. Because these houses are involved, it seems like someone you love, someone you care in a committed relationship. It's not the ones that you date, but the ones, I'm talking to those Virgos who are in committed relationships, like in marriage or in a long-term partnerships. Seems like that person, you might have some sort of disagreement or argument with them around your career or around your future plans. About your social status of your relationship, if that's your case. If you're not married, but then you're dating, like let's say in a long-term partnership, this might be the time when you will have to decide what to do next with your committed relationship, like taking to the next level, getting married, let's say, or engaged. And it seems like there might be some sort of argument there for some of you, my dear Virgos. For others, it might be about like social, your career, your spouse or partner might not support your decisions around your career. And, it might be not about like, it might not involve the love partner. It might involve your business partner. If it's not a love partner, and if you say everything is sweet and cute, then it might be your business partner with whom you work. You might have different opinions where to take your business further, like what is the direction of your business and your career in general. And it might be that you will be, let's say your business partner will not welcome your influence. You will have big influence. You have big influence, in your area, it seems like, according to your chart, because Jupiter and Mars is exactly fueling your influential area. Because 10th house is where we respect people and where people respect us. So that's exactly where your lucky planet is there, and plus desire planet is there. And it seems like your partner, business partner, won't like it. And if it's if it's not about, let's say, work or career, it might be actually disagreement between your love partner and your father, or between your manager and your spouse. If that happens, in life, any sort of thing might happen. These things might manifest in any sort of form, and relationship. So I'm trying to give you as much as possible, like examples, so you might, relate to them. So I will give you general thing that there is some argument is going on between the people that is at work and people that are at home. And at home, I mean your spouse, like the relationship you're in, or your business relationship. On another note, it might be actually totally about your kids. You might have an argument over your kids, over their future or over their affairs. I don't know, anything related to children activities. Like maybe their kindergarten or their education or their funding, whatever is there, the topic, it might be related to your kids too. Because, Saturn is the natural ruler of your 5th house, children's house. And Jupiter is the natural ruler of your house of family, like house of your mother too. Now, and Mars is the natural ruler of your siblings. How your family is going into this picture. You see, it's quite a lot of things happening, and it might be one thing or another. So you have to just relate and make up the puzzle there. What I see is that these planets are arguing and they are hinting that it might be the argument between those people and you, or just between those people, and you will have to mediate somehow between them. Now, on 22nd of August, we have Sun, giver of light, of our universe, giver of life, going into your Sun. Perfect time, because when Sun comes in our sign, we feel the energy, Before Sun is not, it's in our 12th house, we feel quite a bit of tired. We feel rest. We need rest. We are craving for rest. And exactly this new moon in your 12th house in the beginning of August will be indicating that, but as soon as 22nd of August, Sun moves into your 1st house, that's when you will get all the energy. That's when you will start feeling yourself again, sharp and clean, let's say, and you will full force. You might go full force and you will welcome your birthday in a fully energetic mode. Now, on 28th of August, also Mercury, your ruler, going direct finally, but always allow Mercury 10 days before and 10 days after it actually retrogrades. There's this thing called shadow period of Mercury. The shadow period is also influential one, like when we start already feeling all sorts of mix-ups, all sorts of, I don't know, confusions in communication, in dates, and in tickets and everything, in bookings. All the things go kind of messy, and exactly those days are also messy, like 10 days before, meaning 5th of August it goes retro. So 10 days before, by the end of July, you already might have been, starting feeling all that energy. And 28th of August, when Mercury goes direct, after 28th of August, 10 days, we will be feeling it. So give your ruler time to regain its power, to regain its clarity, to regain its full force, of movement. So just give, and if you still have some, very important, expensive things to buy, do it after, let's say, 10th of September. Better to do that way. And signing papers too, my dear Virgos. This was your horoscope for August, and stay tuned for September. I wish you amazing August. Stay on the positive side. Love you all. Bye bye.